Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazy House here, and I want to talk a little bit about the news story that Sony Pictures is going to be producing a live action version of One Punch Man. For those who don't know, One Punch Man is a very popular anime and manga series over in Japan and also here in the States. It's been very prolific within the last 5 years or so. I've been a big fan of it. It's one of the best series I've seen in a while. It has a great combination of awesome action, but it's also extremely funny. And it has a great theme to it, and I think that's the endearing quality that the fans of the manga and the anime series have picked up on. It has a really great theme about perseverance and also being consistent in your goals, and you can achieve your goals. So, for those who've never seen it before, it's about a superhero named Saitama, who he started out as just a regular corporate worker, and then one day he saves this kid from getting killed by this giant mutant super villain. It was like I think it was like a mutant lobster or something like that. But he saves a little boy, and then Saitama decides to become a superhero himself, and he trains his body and trains his strength up to the point where he becomes so powerful that he can kill any supervillain or any opposition with just one punch. Hence the name One Punch Man. And he lives in a society that is full of superheroes. In fact, the superheroes work for a large corporation. The superheroes are all giving like a rank and a class. They're almost treated like modern day celebrities. And it's done in a very funny way. And what's funny is when he actually tries out for this superhero corporation, he has a very low ranking. People don't seem to know just how powerful he actually is. So even though he is this amazing superhero who can almost stop any threat, no one really knows about him or pays him any attention, and he's almost seen as like a joke amongst just normal, everyday, regular people. But for him, it's not about being famous or being known as this great superhero. It's just about doing the best you can as a superhero and being the best you can be for your own inner integrity. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about the character. And I think, like I said, that's a very endearing quality that a lot of people have kind of latched on to. And it's actually very analogous and almost kind of like a metaphor for the creator of One Punch Man, who just calls himself One. But he came up with this idea, and he said that he was going to quit his corporate job and he was going to work on a manga because he's always wanted to do a manga for his entire life. And he says he always wanted to just take time to do it, and he always tried but always failed. So he said, you know what? For once, I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to do it consistently and put out something new every week. And he did that for, I believe it was 2 years. He said no matter what was going on, he said he was always going to sit down every day at his table and work on this manga with no let up and no stop. So within those 2 years, and if you see the original manga drawings, they're not that well done. Once even once the Shonen Jump picked it up, they decided to change it around a little bit and update the artwork, but it's still basically the same story. But people just enjoyed his consistency, and that's what he was trying to get pushed forward, not just himself in the work, but also the actual main character of Saitama, because Saitama trained consistently, and that's how he became the greatest superhero. And it's almost kind of half a joke in the manga and the anime where they ask him how did he become so strong, and he just pretty much says, I ran a mile every day. I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and it's almost played as a joke because they're like, okay, so you just did a regular training exercise and you became this strong, and he's like, well, yeah, that's the secret to my strength. But the point that the author is trying to get across is consistency pays off. And if you do something every day with all your might and you don't slack off on it, you can become great. So that was the point, and that's one of the things that I loved about the series itself. So Sony Pictures is going to be doing a live action version under Avi Arad and his Arad Productions. They're getting the writers from that worked on Venom to write this, Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner. So those guys helped produce that Venom movie, which I'm not that big of a fan of. It was okay, but to me, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of how they're trying to separate Venom from the Spider-Man universe. But that's neither here nor there. But they're going to be the ones handling this live action version of One Punch Man. Now, I would hope that they get what the theme is, and they hope that they get the point of the story without trying to make up their own ideas about what One Punch Man is about. Because there have been several attempts of doing live action versions of popular anime series or popular manga, and many of them have failed. There's only a few you probably count on one hand that were at least decent. And a lot of them, even the ones that are decent, are not perfect. Probably the best one I've seen is probably Battle Angel Alita. That was very close to the manga, very well done. The people that made it, both Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron, actually took the source material seriously. So that was actually produced and done very well. Now, that's the great end of the spectrum. The terrible end is stuff like Dragon Ball Evolution and that live action Fist of the North Star movie with Gary Daniels. That movie still pisses me off every time I think about it, because I remember when I was a youngster, I wanted to watch it because I thought the animated version of Fist of the North Star was coming on cable, and it was that crap. I'm still pissed off about that. So that's what. So I want to know which kind of anime adaptation we had to look forward to. Is it going to be something great like Alita? I would hope they kind of take some lessons from that, and I hope that they get the themes of One Punch Man where it's not just pure comedy, because it's not. There actually is some seriousness about it as far as the thoughts that go into it. It's not just silliness just for the point of being silly. I know that's how a lot of people take it, but like I said, there's an endearing quality and an endearing theme. That's why I talked about it so much in this video. So I hope people will get that. So you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comment section, and I'll post a link to the Variety article talking about them making this movie. And if this is something that you'd be interested in seeing, if it was done right, or if this is something that you just wish they just leave it alone and just let the manga and the anime stand on its own. Anyway, Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.